Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ayman Aitani, and I'm joined by my colleagues Jad and Ayman, Jad and MG. We're going to talk about the latest AI use cases in government and what their impact is. How are you, Jad and MG?
All good, Ayman. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. So, what topics do we have today?
Awesome.
All right, great. And we're starting with the first topic, which is the Olympics. As you all know, the Olympics is happening now in Paris, and they're calling it the first AI Olympics. So some are calling it the first AI Olympics. The rest are saying the technology is still not developed. Of course, there's gonna be another version of the AI Olympics. So it's a debate. But for now, this is the first Olympics where AI is used. So the main partner for this is Intel. And what they did is they provided athletes with chatbots and machine learning models to help them in a few stuff. The first one is generating recommendations for how to sleep better in order to perform better the next day. That's one. The second area where AI is helping here is it's embedded in the cameras. It records or analyzes the footage of athletes and gives them recommendations of their performance and how to adjust their trainings to get better performance the next time they compete. So this is the second use case. The third one is to gain insights on their performance, how to improve, what to do in case this happens or this happens. So it analyzes in tennis games, it analyzes the time needed to, I know this interests you, MG. It analyzes the times needed for the athlete to make a
Wow.
reflex.
Split-second decision, yeah.
Exactly. So it's very detailed, and that's how they're using AI.
You
so
know,
we have a short video.
on that, Jad, I saw it. It was the first time because usually in tennis tournaments, they just give you the speed of, let's say, the ace. But it was the first time that when I'm following the Olympics, they say the speed of the ace, then beneath it, the reaction speed, which is like a 0.37 seconds reaction speed to the serve. I didn't know that this was the AI part of it, but thanks for sharing that.
Yep, this is the AI, and we're also seeing it in other sports. So I watch football sometimes. We all can see the small generated by AI thing at the bottom of the screen. So
Yeah.
Let's watch the video we have.
All right.
Paris Olympics would be a safe haven from hearing about AI. Think again. Google just teamed up with NBC and Team USA to integrate their latest Gemini AI models into this year's Olympic coverage. So imagine watching the Olympics with Google's AI providing relevant insights and facts during the event. Now the goal is to make the Olympics more dynamic and engaging than ever before, enhancing the stories and athlete and overall fan experience. Now we're talking AI-powered overviews, Google Lens, and maps giving you immersive views of the venues, and even social media content featuring Team USA athletes using these new AI tools. You'll see the new Google tech all over NBC, Peacock, and anywhere else live streaming the Olympics, making your viewing experience more interactive than ever before. Sarah Herschel.
Yep.
So I think it wasn't clear for me. How are they using it?
Okay, so this is another partnership, especially between the USA team and Google. So they're using it as Google provides their athlete with chatbots and Google Lens. They film or analyze their performance, so it's integrated in cameras. And the AI after the performance of the athlete would tell them that you did a mistake here, you could have been better here, adjust your training to get there.
But can they do that for the hundreds of sports that they have?
I think because now the article I read focuses mostly on tennis, the most popular sports, swimming, tennis, and such. But I think, because they have a lot of partnerships from Intel to Google.
So you're saying there are sports in the Olympics that people train for all of their life?
And of course not. But
is this what you mentioned? They're not popular for you, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I think the Olympics, especially when you mentioned Google, it may be an advertisement stunt, maybe a PR stunt, because Google announced their integration. I don't know if any other companies we know. Samsung gave out their phones, which had AI features in them to athletes. So it's a big kind of a PR stunt for these companies because it's a huge event. Did you follow up on any action, Ayman, on the Olympics?
I have a question in my mind always, and I'm looking for your answer.
All
Are
right.
you watching, and why? I'm
Yeah,
seeing a lot of people in my feed watching, but I'm just curious. They're generally not interested in sports. So is this
yeah,
like, some people are getting excited about the World Cup?
yeah. No, I just watched the tennis. So it happened last week. It spanned the whole week. I usually watch tennis regularly, so it was just another tournament that I had to watch. I'm not interested in any of the ping pong, the diving, the swimming, and the. Although they're very important sports, I should say the high jump is
I was trying to
specifically,
fix things. Yes, yes, yes.
the high jump is specifically an important one. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was just the tennis.
Jad?
Yeah,
I'm not watching it. I didn't watch any of it from my side, actually. So just as you said, the only thing I get excited about is the Football World Cup.
yeah, 100%. Guys, we're going to move on to something else, which is the UK government investing some pretty cash into AI projects. So we know that recently there's a new AI government, and they put forward the new UK government, excuse me, and they put forward a plan that they want to boost adoption of AI. And part of that plan, now they revealed that they announced that they supported 98 AI projects with a share of 32 million pounds. So 98 projects got a share of these 32 million pounds. So this benefits more than 200 businesses, as they say, because a lot of research companies are involved, a lot of implementation companies are involved. So more than 200 businesses get benefits from this initiative, and the companies who are developing the AI, their focus is on improving the safety of construction sites, reducing the time spent on railway repairs, among others. Because the Minister of Digital Government and AI believes that AI will not only be used to boost growth and the economy, it will also be essential and crucial in improving the infrastructure of the daily lives for users and the public services that are offered by governments. So it's definitely a welcome move by the UK government for local businesses to benefit from the funds, from the cash used so that they can upstart their business using AI. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see other governments following the same footsteps by embracing AI and funding it? We know that the UAE is definitely on the forefront of this. But when you have a government entity that's saying, "Look, AI is very important, and I'm allocating a lot of funds into this," it kind of gives more stability, if that's the right word, to the industry.
Government entities in Europe tend to provide grants for early stage businesses to get them to build their business and cross the very risky period in the beginning. And every grant from the government has its own criteria. Sometimes they want to support sustainability. Sometimes it's other problems that they have. And there's a growing focus on AI. What I find appealing with this is if it's in a grant format, that means the early stage business gets money, but they keep their equity, helping them raise more money later, and they get the needed money for them to overcome some of the risky periods that they have. What the government in the UK is doing with the AI fund is it's providing specific sectors that it's looking to support and specific use cases that it's looking to support related to construction, related to real estate and environment and so on. So it has specific verticals that they're looking to support, but that will help a wide variety of different businesses get a chance of potentially growing. Not all of the businesses they will support will succeed, but it's also part of the risk that they're taking because with the grants that the government provides, not only is it providing viability to the business itself, but they know that a good portion of this money is going towards employment, hiring people who work at those startups, and that contributes to overall the GDP and the spending cycle that comes with that.
Yeah, 100%, Ayman. And some of the focus of these companies, I'm going to mention a few, like VLabs, for example, is developing their software that is powered by AI to train workers in construction industry by offering different simulated scenarios and risk assessment and others. Another company is like Hack Partners. It's developing this system that manages and identifies defects in the real infrastructure. Also, Robot Limited is using AI to improve the resourcing and improve and identify the bottlenecks in the warehouses and storage facilities. So definitely, we're seeing a focus from the UK government on not only expanding AI towards outside or the by expanding AI towards growing their economy through through implementing it with these small businesses so that they can have the stability in order to grow forward. But you mentioned something, Ayman, which is in the form of grants. And I was going to follow up with, is it always better for governments to provide, if not only grants, but even equity, even funds, though they can retain some equity, like the, let me rephrase that. Is it better for governments or is it better for companies to take money from governments, even if the governments would take some equity, or go for venture capitalists to get that money, given that the venture capitalists may have the know-how and the knowledge to scale these companies better?
Venture capitalists will not help businesses scale and grow despite what they say in their commercial material and what they say at meetings, that they're going to be supportive, they're going to play an operational role. They won't. I've been dealing with many VC. I've been on both sides, on the investor side and on the building side. A lot of that is talk. At the end, it's up to the founder and the founding team to build that startup. So versus getting money from a government grant versus a VC, it's at such an early stage, it is not. It's better from the government because it tends to be in the form of a grant. They don't ask for equity. VCs will definitely have equity. Yeah. Second, the government is looking at long-term growth and employment and contribution to GDP. So they have a different mandate than the VCs. So that's why they're much more likely to invest in businesses that are a little bit riskier. The VCs would definitely not do that, especially when you're looking at sectors that require a lot of money to build for, like sustainability, if it's a very specific AI use case, and so on. So they need to be able to, they need some breathing room and cash to be able to validate the needs. And with all governments, they tend to have long-term plans to improve the lives of people around them. So if the AI use case is applicable within a government entity, they'll be able to help introduce them to the relevant departments. If it has to do with transportation, for example, improving on the road, safety on the road, or issues on the road, it could be other issues related to healthcare or education. So the government might be able to help the people who receive the grant to meet other government entities to implement that technology. The downside for the startup, usually the early stage business, is governments tend to be bureaucratic, so there's a lot of requirements for documentation. It takes a while to unlock the money. So even if they say yes, by the time the money hits the bank, there's a certain amount of time for the money to hit the bank. So it usually is a parallel approach where they know the early stage business knows it's going to run out of money in 8 months, let's say, and they start from now to apply to a government grant. 4 months, 5 months, 6 months in, depending on the logistics and the bureaucracy of the government entity, the money would arrive and they'll be able to proceed with this. But it's not very fast and straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for sharing that insight, especially about VCs, because we, at least for my end, this image of whole VCs is that let me have a good idea, let me pitch it to VCs, they'll help me scale my companies. But you've brought a very interesting perspective to government grants and how they can help scale companies.
What else? Yes, go ahead.
Yep. We have also the president of Argentina planning to use AI to predict and reduce future crimes. So how does that work? AI is gonna scrape all the social media, and he assigned a special unit.
Have you watched Minority Report? What's his name? Top Gun, Maverick, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Have you seen that movie? It's a relatively older movie.
What's it called?
Minority Report. It's a Minority Report where they use technology to predict crime before it happens.
Oh wow!
And it's a very fancy visual way of doing things, or so on. So that reminds me of that. So what's the real life application of the movie, Jad?
Okay, so the real life application is it will monitor AI. AI will monitor social medias of specific people, and it will identify, for example, their movement by their photos, their images, their stories, the movements of criminal groups. It will identify threats, anything in the background of the photo, and so on. The second use case is it will analyze images from security cameras all over the country in real time in order to detect suspicious activities, identify wanted personnel in the background through facial recognition, and so on. So I don't know, it's not clear if this is a partnership with OpenAI or Google or like another AI company. But I think in my case, this reminded me of a software I came across 2 days ago. It's called Clue AI, and I think it applies here. So any government can use it to automate their processes or use it in something similar. It's Clue AI, where you hire a team of AI employees and you automate their processes. Let me explain by an example. If you're a logistic company, you can hire like 10 AI employees, and you tell them all you have to do every day is take this ID, track my shipping container where it is, and every 3 hours you send me the location by email. So I think this might be something similar in this case, where they hire AI bots employees to scrape the social media of some.
It's an interesting way to frame it, AI employees, when it could be a version of a custom GPT that is functioned, or it has a system to do specific tasks. But now you hire this AI.
No. It's
that does it.
automated. So this it's automated, and it's called AI team. So you don't have to prompt it. You only set the automation, and the bot will do this every day.
So is it like does it have the prompts installed beforehand?
Exactly.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yep.
See that.
But Chad, a lot of what you've mentioned is already there. So using technology, now we're calling it the AI, it used to be machine learning or visual learning before, where it would analyze security footage and identify that this person, there's a warrant for arrest for this person, or there's an issue there. The technology already exists where they look at large areas and they look at the movements of the crowd. And if the movement of the crowd becomes unusual in a sense, it also flags it as well. So a lot of this technology tends to be there. What is there anything specific different there? Is it a headline? They're chasing a headline where they're looking for AI is hot. Let me say we're using AI to reduce crime.
I think, yes, this is a headline. And the second thing is this is part of his bigger plan. And the bigger plan is to replace all government workers with AI systems.
That's different. That's very different.
Yep.
So the topic of AI replacing people who work in government is an old discussion that has to do with technology and digitization replacing people who work in government. And it is valid that many jobs are being replaced, especially if they are repeatable day-to-day tasks that happen with digital technology. Anything that can be digitized has been and can be digitized. And then with AI, anything that's repetitive that repeats again and again with a specific set of criteria can do that. So the advantage from a government perspective is that they're looking at the work becomes more efficient in terms of less human error. Second, the more requests they receive from citizens and residents, they don't need to grow their team a lot in order to accommodate for those incoming requests. Cost reduction for sure. But the disadvantage for the employees who would then either lose their job fully if they cannot learn new skills or not given the opportunity to learn new skills, or a lot of times they're reshuffled within different departments and so on. Those who are able to figure out how to move forward would be the ones who spend more time on newer skills, whether they're AI or different people skills within the organization, so that within that government entity, even if jobs are shifting with AI, they are less likely to lose their job or be reassigned versus others in their department. So they're competing with two things. They're competing with the technology that's replacing some of their jobs, and also in the pool of other government employees around them, how better they are, how more of a they have an irreplaceable skill or a more valuable skill than others. So they are less likely to lose their jobs.
Right on. Thanks for that insight, Ayman. We're going to move on to our last topic, which is OpenAI's co-founder leaving to join another company. So John Schulman, you might have not have heard of this name, but he's one of the original co-founders of OpenAI. And he was a pivotal figure when it came to developing ChatGPT. So he just announced recently that he's leaving OpenAI to join their rival Anthropic, which is an AI startup funded by Amazon. First of all, I did not know that Anthropic was funded by Amazon. Maybe I should start paying more attention to Anthropic and other tools other than ChatGPT, even though they have their first move advantage. However, John announced his departure on X, and he said that this choice, and I'm quoting, "This choice stems from my desire to deepen my focus on AI alignment and start a new chapter of my career where I can return to hands-on technical work." So for those of you who are not aware of what AI alignment is, it's basically a field that ensures that the AI system is aligned or is in harmony with human values and ethics. So this makes sure that it doesn't derail, it doesn't take over the world at some point. So he wants to move to Anthropic to focus more on that. And mind you, this move leaves OpenAI with 3 of its original 11 co-founders. Ayman, what do you make of this move? Is this normal for startup companies to lose a big part of their core founding team?
A couple of things on this. So for employees who work in OpenAI, the leading AI technology builder in the world with ChatGPT and their other tools, they can find a job easily in many other businesses because everybody wants to build AI tools. Google, Amazon, Samsung, Apple, Microsoft, all of them are looking to do so. So them finding jobs in other companies is not an issue. So they're being offered more and more money, millions of dollars a year. So moving from place to place will be commonplace and tempting, especially now that the number of people who are good in AI and knowledgeable enough in AI are not very high compared to the demand, the number of jobs that are available for that. So somebody who's in AI now has an advantage. Second, on having a founding team change, which is OpenAI's team that's changing, this happens when there's a lot of money that comes into the business.
Yeah.
And it happens also when it becomes very, very big. So with OpenAI, they're huge, right? So they're no longer the smaller startup that got started in the late 2016, 17, whatever the actual date was. For that. So they were a smaller team then, but now they're a huge company and they have all of the eyes on them from a media perspective, from a technology perspective, from negativity perspective. So it's a very different company when it comes to anything related to hiring, firing, technology releases, and so on. So they're now the golden standard. So anything that changes there is going to affect them, and that will affect who they hire, how they hire, the role of the founding team, the role of the board. So all of that becomes nice and messy.
Yeah, Ayman, and you mentioned that talents moving to other companies is something normal in this space, especially when they get paid a lot. And the move by John, this co-founder, comes after the AI alignment team leaders left OpenAI to join Anthropic. One of them joined Anthropic and the other decided to start his own venture. And mind you that last year we saw this whole situation of Sam Altman being fired and then being instated as the CEO, and a lot of the board members got changed. Does that dynamic kind of weaken the company structure and cause a lot of employees or founding team members to leave the company?
I can see with the rate of growth and change within OpenAI that the employees would change. A good portion of the percentage of the team would change. There's a lot of money and there's a lot of eyes, and they can leave and build their own startup. They can leave and get hired somewhere else. They can have fights, and you have options there, right? It's the same way that you're in a relationship, MG, where you have the upper hand in the relationship. You don't need any of that. So if you're
Yeah.
If your +1 gives you a bit of a headache, and you have 12 other different options, all you have to do is blink an eye. You leave
Yeah.
quite quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, you summed up my whole situation, Ayman. Thanks for that.
And now that we've covered the main part, is the relationship status of MG, and what to do next for him. That brings us to the conclusion of our session here today. We are live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Dubai time, talking about AI use cases in government and their impact. Thank you for joining.